So now on to how to avoid breakage. Alright, so some of the things that you can do to avoid breakage is make sure that your hair is moisture and protein balanced, like I mentioned before. And I will have links to videos and tests that you can do in the description box down below. Alright, so you want to make sure that your hair is moisture and protein balanced. If you have too much moisture, you'll have breakage. If you don't have enough moisture, you'll have breakage. You have too much protein or not enough protein, you will have breakage. So you want to make sure that your hair is nice and balanced between the two. For me, for example, what I do to make sure that my hair stays moisture and protein balanced is that I use a light protein deep conditioner, and it's this one here by Mega Growth. And you guys have seen me talk about this many times. I did a Regimen video showing you guys this, and I also did a deep conditioner video showing you guys this. And as you can see, it's pretty much done. But this has a little bit of protein in it, so this keeps my hair nice and balanced. Another way I keep my hair balanced is by using a protein spray, and it's this one right here. It's a keratin and green tea reconstructor by Afiji. This is a protein spray, so if I use a moisturizing deep conditioner, then I follow up with a protein spray. If I use a protein deep conditioner, then I follow with something moisturizing. If you get what I mean. You want to use a little bit of both. You don't want to just use only moisture or just only protein, unless that's what your hair likes, because everyone's hair is different. My hair personally likes just a little bit of protein. So next one is protective styles. Protective styles are perfect when avoiding breakage. For me, for example, I wear my hair in a bun 90% of the time. 90% of the time, 90 to 95% of the time, my hair is pretty much always in a bun. You hardly ever see my hair down. Yeah, you hardly ever see my hair down. When you see me, my hair is always up. But anyways, for me, for example, I always wear my hair in a bun pretty much. And I make sure that I rotate the position of my bun so that I'm not causing a whole lot of stress in that one area to avoid breakage. Alright, keeping your hair off of your clothes, off of your scarves, and your ends tucked away is a really great way to avoid breakage. Alright, so next one is porosity. Like I mentioned before, you really want to make sure you know what your porosity level is. You want to know what kind of hair you're dealing with. I didn't find out until late last year that I had low porosity hair. And the next one is to reduce heat. Like I mentioned before, you want to cut down on the amount of heat you're using. For me, for example, I went from every single day to once a month and then started doing challenges. I think the longest I went without heat was 4 months. So you want to try and cut down on the amount of heat you're using. Or you will see a huge change in the way your hair looks, the way your hair feels, the way your hair moves if you reduce the amount of heat you're using. So now the next one is for my relaxer girls. If you guys are girls who love to relax their hair very often, for example 4 weeks or 6 weeks, try to bump it up to 8 weeks. Or 10 weeks or 12 weeks, try and stretch your relaxer. If you are a girl who is afraid to stretch your relaxer because you're afraid of breakage, the best way to combat breakage or to avoid breakage with stretching a relaxer or transitioning is to deep condition often and moisturize and seal your hair often, especially where the relaxed hair meets the natural hair, the line of demarcation. So that center point right there, you want to make sure that area is nice and moisturized. If that area is dry, it's going to snap off and all you're going to be left with is the natural hair. So you want to make sure the natural and the relaxed hair are both nice and moisturized, okay? And the same thing goes for my transitioners. With transitioning, you really need to stay on top of deep conditioning. So with transitioning, you need to be extra careful, extra patient, you need to be extra gentle with your hair. When using heat, you always want to make sure you use a heat protectant, whether it's Icy Fantasia or Chi or whatever. You always want to make sure you use a nice heat protectant. So I'm just going to show you guys my heat protectant. My heat protectant is this one right here. It's by Lustrous Pink, and it's a heat protectant. It has shea butter, aloe, and jojoba oil. I really love this heat protectant just because it has a nice little spray, and I can really just spray it into my roots and whatever. Really great heat protectant, and it's also by a black owned company, so I really love that, and I also love how well it works. So make sure you always use a heat protectant before applying heat to your hair, whether it's a curling iron, a flat iron, heated rollers, whatever it is. Always use some sort of heat protectant. And also always deep condition, and if you're going to deep condition with heat. It opens up the cuticle, allows the moisture to get into the hair shaft. Alright, so deep condition with heat, use heat protectant. So another way to avoid breakage is to protect your hair at night is either with a silk or satin scarf, which is one right here, a silk or satin bonnet, or a silk or satin pillowcase. So this is mine. This one is actually from Sally. So yeah, with that being said, do not sleep on cotton. Do not sleep with a cotton bandana. Use silk or satin, whether it's a scarf, pillowcase, or bonnet, whatever you want to use, just make sure it's silk or satin. You can get them at beauty supply stores, Indian or South Asian fabric stores, lots of different places. Beauty supply stores has them as well. One thing I wanted to mention is that if you're going to be wearing your hair in a bun a lot like me, you want to make sure you use a hair tie that has no plastic or metal clamps on it. You want to make sure that it's an ouchless, so meaning that there's no rubber or anything hard on it to rip and tear at your hair. So yeah, I got mine from, I think, Forever 21 actually. Forever 21, Garage, sometimes the dollar store has some. But I think this one's from Forever 21. So yeah. Alright, so that is the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.